Hi and welcome to your second screencast in this Ancient World class. Today we are going to look at the first section, section 1 out of chapter 3, the next chapter here. And as with all screencasts, pay attention to what is happening on the screen, take good notes, and if you have any questions, please write those questions down and I'll be happy to answer those in class. So one thing that happens here, as we in the last chapter we looked at the development of civilizations. And one of the effects and one of the consequences of the development of civilizations was that these civilizations, whether they were in Asia, in the Indus River Valley, in Mesopotamia, they attracted the people that were still nomadic. And this kind of makes sense because of the fact that the civilizations were much more advanced, and these nomadic tribes came across these civilizations and basically thought, we want to be part of that. That looks like something that is good, that is useful, that is advanced, and we want to be part of that. So the most famous family of nomadic tribes, that is the Indo-European family of tribes. So these are the Indo-European peoples, and I have a map for you here. The Indo-European people started around here, and this is the Tigris and the Euphrates right here. This is the Nile right here. So it's basically north of the Tigris and the Euphrates. And basically between 4000 to 1000 BCE, as you can see on this map, they start to spread out all over the world. These peoples left for reasons that we really don't know why. We really don't know why they left, but they ended up in a lot of different places in Europe, in China, in India, in the Middle East, and they are going to play a very, very important role in history. So it's important to know a little bit about the Indo-Europeans. So one of the first Indo-European people that we need to pay attention to is a group called Hittites. So around 1750 BCE, we have a group called the Hittites, and they moved into Asia Minor. So they moved into Asia Minor. So if we go back to this map here, they went from here and went down to this area right here. This is Asia Minor, and some of them went around this way as well and ended up in what is called Anatolia here on this map. So this is where the Hittites ended up. And between, let's say, 1450 to 1200, BCE, they created a pretty large empire. So they created a pretty large empire that included large parts of Mesopotamia. And then I have a second map for you here, and this is a closer map, a close-up of Anatolia right here. This is what used to be Mesopotamia right here. So this green area is the extent of the Hittite Empire. So they put together a really nice empire here. They fought with Egypt, and kind of together with Egypt were the strongest powers in this area. So how were they able to create this empire? And it really boils down to one thing. They were really the first population group to figure out how to use iron weapons successfully. Iron weapons, and they were really skilled at doing it. So the first group to create iron weapons, and I have a picture here of some of the weapons that we found from the Hittites, and as you can see, these are pretty advanced looking weapons. I mean, these are weapons that certainly would be very effective, especially compared to bronze tools or bronze weapons or stone weapons. This is a very good development by the Hittites. So that is kind of the main reason here why they were so successful in creating this empire. The other thing that they were also very skilled at doing was that they fought in chariots. Fought in chariots, so we've got a picture of that right here. It's a Hittite, a drawing of a Hittite fighting in a chariot. As you might remember, the Hyksos were the ones that discovered this. They were the first ones to attack Egypt with this. And the Hittites are really the second population group to figure out that this is a really good thing to have in battle. So they fought in chariots as well. So again, between 1450 to 1200, they created a pretty large empire here. Around 1200, they start to disappear. They start to decline. And we really don't know why. There's several different ideas floating around, several different ideas that historians have presented. Most historians would argue that as other people figured out how to use these iron weapons, when other people figured out how to create, how to make these iron weapons and how to use them successfully, this advantage that the Hittites had disappeared, and the Hittites were kind of on a level playing field with the rest of the populations around here, and they ended up losing a lot of their territory. So this decline is probably due to the fact that others learned how to make and use iron weapons. So that is basically it for this screencast. Again, a very short screencast. But again, you need to be aware of this this important population group called the Indo-Europeans. You need to be aware of the fact that the Hittites were the first ones of the Indo-Europeans that really stood out. And the Hittites did so because they were really the first population group to create, to make and use iron weapons in a successful manner. So that's it. If you have any questions, please let me know. And again, I hope that this was clear to you.